Good morning. It is Friday, July 10th. We are 90 days out from October 8th, and your DTD2 continues. You are talking to your A's and W's this week. You're texting your N's. Stay in conversation, stay in interaction with the people that you know and love and trust. Find out who they know that you can serve. That's the deal. That's why we always track who we should be talking to, because the confusion can be, if we jump in and out of consistent lead generation, is like, oh, I'll just start over again. And you keep calling your A's. Or you've got such a big database that you just keep calling through your A's and you never get to your, like, in a quarter's time, you want to walk through and do as much as you can in a given week with your A's and your W's. And then you might have to stop. And then the next week you move into next and next and next. So you're working your way through. God willing, you can get through everybody, and God willing, you have a conversation, at least one interaction via phone, via voice, every quarter. That's part of the 36 Connect. Are you talking to all your people at least once every 90 days? And then there's text messages and emails and events and all the other things. But insofar as grabbing the phone and having a conversation or having a voice-to-voice interaction in real time, once a quarter. That's why the DTD2 is so important. Do the database too. It is Friday. We've got Breakthrough Club for you if you're looking for that safe place to go do your lead generation. KWBreakthroughClub.com. You can click the link in the morning news and hang out with us in the Zoom room. It is not exciting. It is a mundane place where you're going to do mundane things. And I promise you, all of that leads to the cool stuff that you're looking forward to in this career that we call real estate. So join us for the Breakthrough Club if you need that place to go and work on your marketing or your conversations, phone calls, text messages, whatever you're doing to make sure that you're having enough interactions with the humans to build that business you're looking for. At 10:30, we've been off quite a bit because Fridays have been clunky, and I'm grabbing some Fridays here and there. So our schedule for Coffee with the Capper over the summer, as it were, is a little lighter than usual. But we are back today. We will have Coffee with the Capper today at 10:30, and this week's edition, named by the man himself. He was like, you know what, we'll call it Cold Brew with a Broker. And I said, Jason, that's brilliant. And we decided to go with that. So it is Cold Brew with a Broker. We have Jason Westcott joining me today at 10:30. And we're going to talk about a lot of things because obviously Jason's been in the real estate game for quite some time. He's been an agent for quite some time, and now he's a managing broker for us as well. And we've got the pleasure to sit with him and talk about all things real estate, talk about him, find out more about him. If you don't know about the Jason Westcott, we'll peel the onion a little bit on his childhood. And of course, his time that he spent in prison. I'm just kidding. Probably talk about some hockey, probably talk about some tomfoolery when he was in high school. And then we'll talk about some real estate stuff, and we'll hear from Jason Westcott. That's 10:30 today. Cold Brew with the Broker. You can grab that. There's a link if you want to join us on the Face Space. Well, we'll be on Facebook and we're on YouTube. The reason we're doing all these kind of things on Facebook and YouTube, you will notice this right now is on Facebook and YouTube. We're saving it for the Smithsonian. Our dear friend Mark Zuckerberg, hi Mark, he deletes live videos after 30 days. So if you're making content, if you didn't know this, you probably know this, but if you didn't know this a while ago, maybe about 18 months, maybe even 2 years ago now, they decided at FaceSpace, at Meta, that live video, and I don't know if this is also true, it must be true over on Insta as well. Same family. That'll be on the quiz later. They decided that 30 days after live content, not a video you upload, a video you do live on FaceSpace, like this one right now, it will evaporate. So we're pushing stuff over to YouTube, so we have all of our content there. So if you are doing live stuff on FaceSpace, I would encourage you to probably simulcast it over to YouTube if you're looking to build that library of content for your business. Just a deep thought on a Friday. Just a suggestion. At noontime, after we finish talking to Jason, that's when we check in with everybody and see what they did this morning for lead generation. We do our midday protocol, and we find out what you had for conversations, what you did for setting appointments, and how you did with signing agreements, right? Those are the 3 lead indicators in our pipeline that tell us how we doing, right? Did I have enough conversations and interactions, right? And these numbers have changed drastically over the years. It used to be you would hear people say, Oh, it's about 19 no's to a yes. So, and you'd hear it now, right? We have a baseline right now in Breakthrough 120. The baseline is, can you have at least 10 conversations every day in which real estate comes up and you earn the right to ask to see if you can help? In bold, you'll hear people say you should have at least 20 conversations a day, not 20 dials, 20 conversations, right? So that's the baseline for bold. And the reason they're saying that is historically, if you had 20 conversations, you'd probably get about 19 no's to a yes. And not that you're asking 19 people to buy, sell, or invest, but you're asking people, who do you know that we should know? And one of those 20 people invariably would know someone that you could help. We've heard ever-changing numbers. And I'm not saying that those baselines of 10 for Breakthrough 120 or 20 for bold aren't good. Those are great places that you should be holding yourself to account if you're doing lead generation on a daily basis, which is a fantastic idea. The thought process is, as we have more and more conversations, and you'll hear this coming up in San Antonio next month for Mega Camp, and you're going to hear it again in Houston in February at Family Reunion. Top producers are talking about the fact that their teams are saying, yeah, it's probably about 46 or so. We're hearing 46s, 45s, 48s, about 46 conversations to get to an appointment. Now, that depends. Everyone's different. The challenge is, do you know what your number is? Do you know how many times your face has to talk to a human or a bunch of humans to get to a point where you earn the right to sit with them, sign them into your business? So tracking all these numbers, conversations and interactions, appointments and agreements signed, that's your pipeline. That's how you'll know how you're doing. That's why we have that conversation every day at 12 o'clock. And we will have that again today at 12, the midday protocol. And that happens right in the same room where we do our lead gen. So just stay in KWBreakthroughClub.com and I will see you there at 12 o'clock for that very conversation. And then Jason Westcott, after we have our conversation at 10:30, which is Cold Brew with a Broker, he's going to come in here and hang out with me. I think we're going to get Brad via satellite for that as well. So you'll have some Brad Kelly. I know everybody's excited about that. At 1:30, Back to Basics, KWCLM forms. Jason will have that conversation with you on the Zooms. That'll be at kellertv.com. So there's your slate for a Friday. And we're going to have good weather this weekend. If you're having open houses, you should have fantastic numbers, provided you did the activities to have fantastic numbers. There's been a lot of conversation, and I know we're going to have a panel at the All Partners meeting Wednesday here in Portsmouth, really just talking about, summer momentum and what are people doing to make sure that, I think people are just like, it's summertime. I can't take my foot off the gas. I can't take some time off. And what you're going to see, we're going to have some conversations, and JV is going to be talking to some of our top producers that are making sure that they are taking time for themselves. And I think it's important to understand that that's a huge part of planning your year every year. Gary will talk about the fact that before you do anything, figure out when your face is going to take a break. Like if you can, in building your calendar, late December, getting ready for January, hey, when are we taking time off? And there could be surprise time off too, right? But plan time off, vacations that you book and stuff like that. Or at least going, Brian Moran, 12-week year. He talks about a 12-week year. He's chunking it down to the quarter. And you think, well, in a quarter, there's 13 weeks, Timmy. Why is he talking about 12 weeks? His suggestion is, and a lot of people would suggest, you should take about a week off every quarter. And you probably get some friends that might be in some jobs that don't have 4 weeks vacation. That's fine. That's not you. You can take as much time off as you want. You're in charge. Even if you're on a team, I would trust your rainmaker would invite you to take the time off that you see fit, you need to recharge your battery, spend time with your loved ones, and remind yourself why we do this damn thing. So we're going to have that conversation on Wednesday. JV is going to talk to some of our great agents who have been very purposeful about making sure that they are taking time for them. And we're gonna make fun of it. I just said to JV this morning as we were talking about this, like it's not work-life balance. That's not a thing. It's work-life counterbalance. Every day you're going to decide which one's going to win. I trust if you're like me and you're heading to your desk or you're at your desk, I've already decided today, work's going to win today. This is going to be primarily a work day for me. Tomorrow will not be, right? And my job is different than your job. I'm a Monday through Friday office guy. But we decide each day which thing is going to win. And we can also build a life. If you listen to Gary in Quantum Leap, he talks about the fact that we have these 3 categories in our life, and we've convinced ourselves as children that we learn, as young adults and adults we earn, and then eventually at some point you step away and you go play golf and drink lime rickies, and then suddenly you go to sleep one last time. It doesn't have to be like that. You could turn that, those 3 pillars could be turned on their head. And every day you could learn and earn and play. That's the challenge of what we're doing. We step away from these other corporate environments. We're like, I'm going to go be a real estate agent. I'm going to be in charge of my calendar and my bank account. And then you get here and you treat yourself like a horrible boss to a horrible employee, and you make a horrible schedule for yourself, and you convince yourself you can have time off. And you convince yourself if you do step away, you'll miss something. And that's going to be an important thing too. You're going to hear us talk about on Wednesday next week, leverage. Everybody here has it. Even if you're a solo artist and it's just you and Mittens on the couch, tell her I said hi. Everybody at this company has leverage. That's why you joined a company like this. So think about that over the weekend. Don't let the Tuesday after Labor Day pop up and have you suddenly feeling like, wow, where did the summer go? Go enjoy time for yourself. Go enjoy time with your loved ones. So when you come back to work, to earn that opportunity for more vacations and more time off, and to help the people that you knew you wanted to help when you started in this venture of real estate, you'll do it with a full heart. You'll do it with air in your lungs and light in your eyes. Not hoping for Friday and having the Sunday scaries and then a case of the Mondays. That's the professional environment you didn't want for yourself. That's why you came here. So let's build ourselves that life by design. If I can help with these conversations, these thoughts, these processes, let me know. It is 603-834-2856. You can also book my face at meetwithcoach.com. We'll see you in and around the Market Center and the internet. Have a great weekend. Be safe. Take care.